you.
Short, right?
Yeah, awesome. So our guest speaker today is Jimme Bell. Jimme Bell was an Ohio State Buckeye, two-time Rose Bowl, or one-time Rose Bowl champion, and two-time Big Ten champion. Was a defensive lineman for the New York Giants and the San Diego Chargers. But rather than recite anything more about his resume, it's got a great story to tell us about the legacy and how his life has been changed by his relationship with God. So, Jimme?
Appreciate you guys. How you guys doing this morning? Come on, y'all got to wake up. Come on, man. I sacrificed my work and I need it too. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I should get more than that because I didn't get any pastries. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to preserve my well, I ain't trying to preserve my sexy. I'm trying to get my sexy. Now, once I get it, then the preservation is totally different. But I'm extremely excited to be here for a couple reasons. One is how I got here. How I got here is I have a really good friend, Lynn Kovacs, who I went to high school with. She's down here, and she graduated from cosmetology school. And I saw she was graduating, so I wanted to surprise her and the family, so I showed up to surprise her. And I'm talking to this guy, and his name is Ash, right? And we're just vibing. We're probably too loud. They probably want to kick us out, but I'm too big to kick out, right? So I can do pretty much whatever I want. But he's asking me what I do. I'm asking him what I do. He asked me what I've been through and all of this other stuff. And he said, man, would you come speak to the Dublin Rotary? And I said, I would love to speak with the Dublin Rotary. I said, because some of the work I do across the country, we actually partner with the Rotaries, right? So now, with that being said, it's morphed into an incredible email relationship with Ingrid, and now she's my sister from another mister because we know each other now. We finally met. So, but I'm also excited based upon Sports World and me being here on Sports World and being able to present with the Rotary. There's a huge reason why. Sports World is a 75-year organization. It was organized by an NFL chaplain years ago by the name of Doug Elshelman, right? And what he wanted to do was to take some players from the NFL teams, with him being a chaplain, take them across the entire country and encourage kids to make incredible positive choices and decisions so that they can live the life that they choose to live. Now, Doc's mission was to go in with hope, go in with the message of hope, to go in with the message of Christ. Well, this is the deal. You know, things have morphed and changed from 77 years ago, right? And what we could actually do and say in the schools has changed a little bit. But still, the message and the soul and the mission, and part of the vision and mission of Sports World is you're not born a winner, you're not born a loser, you're born a chooser. Every kid has an opportunity, as well as adults, has an opportunity to choose to live the lifestyle that they want. We've kind of morphed into kind of a mental health type of organization also, because part of our program, when we call ourselves pros, so when the pros go into the areas, part of our programming, part of our speaking is to share everything we've been through, not just the highs, right? Not just the bank accounts, not just the cars, but the trials and tribulations that we've been through, the hurdles that have been set in front of us that we've had to jump over, the obstacles that we've had to find a way to get over, continue to fall, and then continue to get up and keep going despite the things that are going through in our lives. So we share with them. Then at the end of the program, we actually ask the young adults to share. Woo! If you guys want to see something, you come to an assembly, and after we're done with that assembly, and we grab those cards, and we've spoken to your guys' kids, some of your guys' brothers and sisters, some of your guys' grandkids, and when they're talking about the things that they're going through that you can't imagine, nothing like, I get chills every time I talk about it, but there's nothing like, and I'll give you one specific, and it's not even a specific story, but it's nothing like seeing a little pink-headed girl, right, dressed in all black, thinking she's either blending in or being exclusive to something. And then she comes and tells me, Jimme, thank you for being here because I was just contemplating ending my life before you got here and shared your story. So that's part of what Sports World is here for. We're here to encourage, we're here to uplift, we're here also to save these kids' lives, right? It's influence. I was doing some life coaching in the city. This is about 2 years ago. And I'm talking to some of the homies. One of the coaches came in. He knew me. I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. Everybody wants to know I was born and raised in Youngstown, Ohio. He comes in. The dude knew me from back in the day when I played. And he said, Jim, tell these kids, super athletic kids, tell these kids, if they work their tail off and they go to a place like Ohio State, then their life is set. And I said, man, I ain't lying to them kids like that. Who you talking to? I'm like, man, that don't work. Bro, who you talking to? That don't work like that. It don't work like that. I said, but homies, this is what it does do. If you work your butt off, if you're impeccable within your legacy, I said it offers you a conversation. And any of us, what we hope in our businesses, in our lives, and even with these young adults, you should a conversation. Because then you can prove your value, you can prove your worth, you can build relationships with people that you want and need, because we're all interconnected, to build relationships with, to live your dream. And that's what we're here, that's what I'm here for when it comes to the Rotary. So real quick, this is what I want to do. I want to play this I think it's about 7 minutes, and I may cut it short because I know we have a time limit. Sorry, Zoomers, if I
So basically, we just got done with an assembly, and basically I tell them my story, and I tell them my hopes, my dreams, my fears, and my failures, and then I encourage them to share with me what's going on in their life. I basically say, I told you my story, I would love to hear your story, and then we hand out our cards where it's you're not born a winner, you're not born a loser, but you're born a chooser, and I ask them to fill out their name, their grade, and then give us comments. And because I'm real and raw with them, a lot of times they'll open up and just tell us. So we're looking for any concern cards, red flags, cutting, addictions, problems in the household. And then basically we make copies of them and make sure the principals see them. And it's a way to come alongside the school and students and teachers and help them identify kids that are going through a lot, and then hopefully they get the help they need, because it takes a it takes a village. And we cannot do this alone. It's more than school. We're trying to raise people that are good community members. So it's important to reach them and to speak truth over it.
Because right now it feels like there is no hope for that to happen. I've lost so many people. I'm scared with all my stuff going on that I would just give up.
Basically says, sometimes I feel useless. Then again, I probably am. Why do I exist? For an 8th grader to have those questions or that pain, it's heavy. A lot of depression, a lot of just feeling out of control.
Yes, in past years when I've been with Sports World outreach speakers, a lot of times it's drugs, it's alcohol, those kinds of things, a sad home life. But this week we've actually seen 2 cars that say they were being sexually abused. And those are kind of shocking to me, that they're reaching out for help and the principals were able to get them help immediately. So good things there.
I think it's a great message for students to hear someone who was successful, is successful, but had struggles to get there. It wasn't handed to him. Like, he had a choice that he had to make every day. And I love what you said about, we had to focus on what's right here, right now in front of me. And so often kids think long term of like, I'm never gonna graduate or I'm never gonna get to here. And it's like, you just have to focus, like you said, on that one thing. That might be a test, or it might be, I just have to get through this shift at work, or this rough night at home, whatever it is. If you can just focus on that one thing to get you through whatever that next thing is. I thought it was great. I love that he captured their attention with the snowboarding story and then was able to lead into a deeper message. I think he captured their attention. I love the fact that my 11-year-old son was able to be there and to hear the message. Going into middle school, there's a lot of things that changed from leaving from elementary school, so it was great that he was getting a positive message on, that he has a choice. Social media, they never get away. I feel like there's a pressure to constantly, be performing, to be seen. Obviously, drugs and alcohol and vaping are everywhere. As a counselor, I think students struggle a lot with their mental health now, and I think after COVID, which I hate talking about COVID, but after COVID and just, being isolated but they're not really isolated because they're online. So it's harder for them, I feel like, to find themselves because they're bombarded by so many different, things.
I think that hopefully our principals and what we've been encouraging is to keep this message alive, keep reminding them, bring back another speaker. Some of the principals were given a poster that Tom signed, and I think if some of those principals would take that poster and then maybe a month or 2 from now, bring it back to their remembrance, bring it alive, have a giveaway for the poster, like those are things that will keep it going as long as the schools also keep reminding the students of everything we've encouraged.
It's a great reminder for them, especially right now. We're in the middle of the first semester. All the fun stuff kind of like died down, the excitement of coming back to school. So coming right now, just kind of reminding them that, you may be in a hard spot right now, or you might be struggling in a class. It's not over yet. It's just, this is just a blip on, your life, and it's going to get better. So just reminding them of that and hearing it from somebody else who's had real life experience. I mean, you travel the world. So you have plenty of real life experiences to share.
Thank you guys for taking the time to check that out. I think in our, so as you guys saw at the end, we do have a team. Every one of us pros. So let me explain that. So it started off as a football thing. Then it morphed into, we have basketball pros. Then we have female softball pros and female WNBA pros. Tom so happens to be the world record holder of the largest snowboard drop. He's in the world record. You kids love that stuff, right? So it's all about attention. I'm going to share with you guys 3 things that my relationship with Ohio State did for me. And it's how I live my life now, and it's how I build relationships, and it's how I show other people to consider, how do you build relationships? Because whether you're a business owner, you're in sales, you want to have an impeccable family, whether you want to be there for your kids, grandkids, or whatever, believe it or not, it all begins and ends with us as individuals. Sometimes we think it's the kid, oh my gosh, these kids is tripping, man, these kids nowadays. I be looking at people like, man, they're doggone kids. You know what I'm saying? They're mirroring you one way or the other, or they're mirroring someone else who's made their life more defining than the imprint that you put on them. That's just the reality of things, right? But the first thing that Ohio State helped me understand was about my legacy. They helped me understand legacy. I'm a huge legacy guy. Legacy is based upon our actions and our attitude every single day. Our legacy, one of the most powerful things that we all have, is because we're all in control of our own legacy. We are. If everyone walked in this room and I said, I'm going to give every single one of you, based upon your personality, what you love, your lifestyle, you're going to get a book of your life by me. You're welcome. Right? I'm a Game of Thrones guy. I'm a Matrix guy. I'm a Lords of the Rings. So mine's going to look a little gothic-y, right? It's between gothic and sci-fi. You guys are excited because you want to look at that book. You want to see, like, let me see what Jimme wrote about me in this book. Let me see. Right? So you open that book up, and then you look at me weirded out because you're like, Jim, there's no words on these pages. And you're like, you said, where you was going to give me the book of my life? I said, absolutely, that's the book of your life. I said, it's not my responsibility to fill in the words. It's your responsibility to fill in the words. Your actions and your attitude every single day dictates the words that will be imprinted on the book and novel of your life. And then one day when you're dead and gone, for me, I'm going to be about 180, 185 or something like that when I choose. Oh, I'm just tired, right? That I can look down and see how my life impacted other people. That's what true purpose is, right? That's what true purpose is. Passion is how we operate today. Purpose is how we see that our life has impacted other people. That's what I love about the Rotary, because if you look in the tenets of the Rotary, embedded in it is legacy, passion, and purpose. Period, point blank. Right? The next thing that Ohio State taught me, and that I share, and that I partner with people in, is that we have to fight for our journeys. Every single person in this room is on a journey, a life's journey. Right? Sometimes it's a destination, things people want to do, things people say they want to do, things that people set out to accomplish. Well, you got to fight for that thing. Then just show up. It's not fighting with your fist, but you got to fight with your heart and your soul. You know why? Because everything don't work out the way we want to. Right? Listen, y'all adults, I got to tell y'all that. Right? Y'all looking for the wins, right? I'm in sales. I've been in sales. I've been in some type of relationship building, and we're all looking for that yes, right? Woo. How many people are looking for the no's? Right? Go for the no. There's a book out there called Go for the No. If you have the courage to seek out the no, then eventually you're going to know how many no's you need to get through if you have the courage to get to the yes that you're looking for. Right? That's why I'm a participation trophy guy. How many participation trophy people we have in here? Woo! I figured I'd be the only one. But this is the deal. Why not get rewarded for participating? I'm going to encourage you to participate. I'm going to get excited about you participating. Man, it's not even courageous to give the pat on the back to the person that you knew was going to be the top #1 guy on the podium. What about the individual or the kid that participated knowing that they weren't going to get no time? Obi Stillwell, y'all see him on TV? I do Fox and ABC News. Obi Stillwell's on TV. Y'all think Obi play? Obi ain't played down at Ohio State University. Not minus special teams. He's a walk-on from Mansfield, Ohio. He came as a defensive back. He got laughed out the defensive back room. Went to the running back, got laughed out the running back room. Ended up pushing him to the linebackers. One year he thought he was going to play linebacker, then here comes Jerry Rudinsky, who used to be also on TV, because he was a scholarship guy. He got more of an opportunity than Obi thought he would ever have, even though through hard work Obi deserved. Well, Obi should get a participation trophy. Because what we're doing, we're teaching our kids that unless you come in first place, the effort isn't viable. No, your effort is viable. Your legacy is based upon your passion, and your passion is how you do things, not how you end up. I do believe to the victors go the spoils, right? I ain't tripping. The victors go to the victors the spoils. But that other individual should be celebrated. When I go into schools, I never ask kids what their grades are. I hustle. How many people hustle their way through high school? Anybody want to be honest? I'm talking with good grades too, right? I'm talking 2 points. I'm talking threes and everything. I was 3-something. You figure it out, right? You're not putting in maximum effort. I shouldn't be celebrated for the grades that I get without maximum effort. You have some amazing salespeople. You shouldn't get credit for being the top guy if you haven't put in the maximum effort. You should get the reward of whatever that is, that's fine. But that doesn't mean I'm going to take away the attention to the other person who may not be so gifted as you are. But they're coming, giving you everything that they have. They're giving you everything, and they're sitting there in solitude wondering if their effort is enough. Is their life is enough? Is my value enough? I know I'm only a C student, but I'm putting everything into this. And the only person getting credit is who walks on with the talents. And then we're wondering why not just kids, but the adults. The people, if we have businesses, people you're responsible for. Man, Jim, how can I get the person to put everything in to when they come to my business? How can I get their business to be like mine? First of all, their business it's not their business. So you can't get other people to act like the business meaning to you is to them. But I can get them to commit to be the most incredible individual that they are by me showing them that I appreciate the maximum effort that they put into the opportunity. Right? You got to fight. I have to fight. And we'll talk about this in the whole other time. But when I came to Ohio State, I was the top recruit in the whole country. Myself, Corey Stringer, Lorenzo Stiles, Eddie George, Brian Miller, who will be here in the next couple months, Jason Gwynn, who passed away on the Olentangy Bridge, all top recruits. I was one of the #1 defensive guys. And I went through 3 years of abuse at Ohio State, tore my knee. So I came in with value, and halfway through I was a liability. So I had to make a choice, right? I had to make a choice. I was either going to see my value and operate in my value no matter what the outcome was, or I was going to give in to the thought of depression, to the thought of being a not so good individual, the thought of being someone who doesn't have courage, right? So I had to fight. I'm not exempt. And the last thing, and I only want to read this before I hand it back over or give guys who wants to do some questions. The last thing I teach and I share is to walk in devotion. I know we got some old heads in here. Y'all remember that old Earth, Wind, and Fire devotion? Yeah. And for some of y'all young people, y'all here because of that song. Yeah. Believe that. Go ahead and YouTube it. When you YouTube it, you're going to be like, okay, I see what he's talking about now. But they talk about devotion. And honestly, sometimes we just sing these songs because the melodies are so melodic and they feel so good. When you YouTube it, YouTube the words to that doggone song. You're like, what in the world were these dudes on back then? You're talking about some supernatural spiritual healing and love and my gosh. Listen, if everybody was responsible, maybe half the national anthem should be that doggone song. And maybe we'd be in a little better place because everybody wouldn't be so doggone angry in this country. But devotion says love, loyalty, or enthusiasm. for a person, activity, or cause. Love, loyalty, or enthusiasm for a person, not myself. Not myself. I operate in, and listen, God created me to be a lover. I operate in devotion. I'm excited for you like it's me. I'm going to jump up and down for your success like it's me. You see what I'm saying? I'm praying and expecting for things to work out on your behalf like it's me. You see what I'm saying? And that's what playing at Ohio State taught me. That's why even as business owners and salespeople, people who are coming into you for your help, you have to walk in ultimate empathy. Think about that. You have to walk in ultimate empathy. I have to give them what they need, not what I think they need. You see what I'm saying? I have to encourage my workers, not based upon what I want out of them, but what I can, so I can dig into their soul and their family, their dreams, their hopes, where they want to be. So that's how I get them to produce at a whole nother level. Not getting them to see it my way. Devotion. Love, loyalty, or enthusiasm for a person, activity, or cause. And that's why I'm here on behalf of Sports World. Sports World partners with Rotaries across the country to bring our pros in one way or the other to go into the school systems. We also go into the detention centers. When we go into an area, we call it an outreach, right? So we'll bring a pro in on Monday. They'll speak Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll pretty much load the schedule up, and they fly out, going somewhere else on Thursday. And what I'm here for is to have the Dublin Rotary considering partnering with Sports World in fundraising and resources and relationships to find a way to bring Sports World to the community, to help these kids, to give them hope. To listen, sometimes it's influence. I'm not even, believe it or not, y'all, I'm not even a big sports dude, but I'm not an idiot too. I know why God gave me influence. Right, I created influence through my legacy at Ohio State. Right, people see me from being on TV. I understand what that influence is. I may be the difference. Where somebody, what I say to an individual, you guys may say to your kids every single day. Jimmy says that same thing. It just so happens that he or she listens to Jimmy. Quite frankly, I'm a non-ego. Well, I do have ego. I have a positive ego. And I'm a truth-loving justice guy. I don't care where the information comes from. I just want the perfect, loving, and information and truth and justice. So guys, I appreciate you. If you guys have any questions about that, we'll figure a way to get that happen. But if you guys have any, if you guys have any questions.
Can we just take a couple questions?
There we go, we got some. And listen, don't be afraid of my not sports guy. Listen, ask whatever you want.
Many schools.
When you go into it.
So we got both. Ladies before, she's way cuter than you, buddy.
How many schools do you go to during the year?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Whew. That's a loaded question. Like I told, so I'll give you a day.
Thousands?
More than that. So put it like this: we have 20 contract pros, and we send them across the country. So we may be in a couple hundred schools in a week, depending on the scheduling. Does that make sense? So when we go into an area, I'm just talking, we may go Kaufman Middle, I don't know the school, Dublin Middle at 9 o'clock. Then at 10:30 we may do Kaufman. Then at 12 o'clock we may do the county detention center for kids. And then at 2 o'clock, I'm talking, this is in one day, we may go do another one. We do that 3 times a day. So if you could imagine, I'm just talking, say you have 15 pros across the country in that one day. That's literally how it works. It's crazy. It's quite a bit, and it's the beauty. The thing I love the most is that it's at no cost to the schools. All they have to do is put us on the schedule and really just give us a mic. Believe it or not, that's harder than you think. Whew, super hard. Mr. Southeast Ohio, what's up, cutie?
I assume you go into a lot of inner city schools. Are the responses a lot different from the kids there than, say, a suburban school like Kaufman?
Nah, bro, it's the same stuff. It just looks, same stuff, different personality. Same stuff, same drugs, same alcohol, same dysfunction, same domestic abuse, same suicide. It's the same exact thing. This is what you normally find. I'm just talking. This is what you normally find. For whatever reason in the inner city, it's in the streets. When the suburbs, it's just in the houses. Does that make sense? There's just closed doors. So I've worked in behavioral health for a few years. It was part of it was because I worked with a super awesome DoD servicing organization, and I started their nonprofit. But I said, listen, I need to get in the field so I can help tell the story. Boy, whenever I walked into a house, I'm like, oh geez, now I see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's $500,000 house, $600,000 house, $1 million house. As soon as I walk in, and I'm like, oh Jesus, I know what I'm into now. So that's the difference. You know, in the inner city, it just kind of bleeds into the streets. You know, it's just visible. It's the same thing. True story. I remember, I'm sorry, what's your name? Sinan. I just wanted to say that when he's over here, and I thought your name was cool. So I wanted the opportunity to say it. A true story. I remember I went to I was in a Cincinnati suburb school. Can't make this up. And this arrogant counselor / principal, oh, our kids, we don't need this. Such and such and such. Oh, our kids are great. I'm thinking about some brother doing it for 10 years. Like, you have no clue, but I let them have it, like, do whatever. So we're doing this thing, man. These kids are locked in. And man, their cards may have been some of the most dramatic cards that we have read. You see what I'm saying? He didn't position himself to consider that was the probability of what's happening. Does that make sense? Not to mention, listen, I went to a Catholic high school in Youngstown, right? I went from the Catholic high school to the hood. I know what we do. I know how people think we are, but I also know who we do. So when he said that to me, I'm like, man, you tripping. You need to dig in a little bit more to your kids. And the kids are waiting for that, though, too, believe it or not. The kids want the help. The kids want the structure. They want the discipline. So,
I was just going to ask real quick, how do you measure your success results? The schools report back and say, hey, you changed lives of XYZ kids, and like, how do you guys get out there? You saw the cards. You saw him doing the cards, right? So on the front end of the cards, and I should have brought, our whole schedule, I was actually going to have the president come in, and he had a wedding, and he apologized, Tim Kushner. I'll bring him another day. But he had a lot of stuff from Indianapolis that we were going to provide for you guys, so you guys can see the cards. So on the front end of the card, it's like name, school, and all that stuff. And then on the bottom half is where we ask the individuals to share. On the back end of the card, we actually measure the problem intimacy. Does that make sense? So when someone says I'm cutting, that's our measure. When someone says I'm being strangled, or anything that I'm suffering from depression, on the back end of the card, it has 3 boxes: drugs, alcohol, and other. If there's something that you want to commit to, if there's something that you need help with, so we measure it by those things. Does that make sense? So I know it sounds a little backwards, but we measure how we can get the kids to honestly interact with us so we can get them to help. Now, part of sports, where I know where you're coming from, one of the incredible things that we really work our tails off on, it's not easy also, so we come in and we plant the seed, right? We come in, we plant that seed, we get the kids energized, we get the kids operating in that, okay, I know I need help. What we try to do is build relationships with other organizations in those particular areas so we can pass it off. So now that these other organizations can help water the kids, they can help be there for the kids. Does that make sense? Because we're pretty much in and out, so to speak. Really good question.
Jimme, thank you so much. I think we need to call time, but can you stick around
Time
for a few
out.
minutes?
Yep, we got it.
Yep. I was afraid I was gonna have to time for
You should have.
Real quick, I was remiss, I did not introduce our guest, and I want to make sure we did that before we leave. Nikki has a guest here, Amy Ledoux. So, welcome, lady, glad to have you with us. Great, and a guest, and Kai, is it? Kyle. Kyle, I can't read your writing, you would have asked $1. Oh, yeah, he's with us this morning, so glad to have you both with us.
I think that's $2 for missing that day.
Yeah.
Don't even go there.
He gets a birthday discount.
Our closing quote is from Harper Lee in honor of the start of summer. Summer was our best season. It was sleeping on the back screened porch in cots or trying to sleep in the treehouse. Summer was everything good to eat. It was 1,000 colors in a parched landscape. Have a great week. Thank you.